I'm going to keep Canadians safe because the truckers are coming for you guys. These non-violent, peaceful truckers are coming for you. So I'm going to invoke this measure, the highest measure that you could possibly invoke in Canada to keep you safe. There's no violence. Clinton Jaws, guys. There's a website. It's called Clinton Jaws. You can buy stuff. You can buy this shirt here if you go there. It's Depot, not Depot. I don't know why I just did that. And if you're a retired member, you can go to thegoldenbadge.com, pick up a retirement badge. You deserve it. This has been driving me, I don't know, not driving me, but, well, I'm a little frustrated. I'm going to talk about that. I want to talk about that. And I know I'm slow to get going, but bear with me here. It's a terrible beginning. I already know that. I'm not going to hit pause or stop or do it over. Every night, I like watching American news. I don't like watching Canadian news. I like watching American news. In America, I'm getting sick and tired of it. They're taking all my material. All my material. They're talking about Canada. They can't stop talking about Canada. It's driving me nuts. I'm driving my wife nuts. I'm upstairs the other night, and I'm like, oh, I'll just say it tomorrow. I'll say it tomorrow. And sure as they're saying it, and I'm yelling at my wife, I was going to say that. That's what I was going to say. And I kick myself. I'm like, why didn't I say it? Because now if I say it, I feel like I'm copying the Americans talking about Canada. And I feel like I just don't want to do that. Literally, some of the great points that they're bringing up, I've already thought of. And shame on me for not working hard enough and trying to be the first to say it. And so I started thinking, what? Are they missing anything? Is there any point of me even talking about it? It's already been said. You already know it. But then something popped in my head. And it's Trudeau's mind. And this might not be interesting at all. And you probably already know this. But can we dissect his mind for a second? First, I want you to see this guy. Okay? This guy wants to run for prime minister. Just watch this clip.
Well, it's clear that Justin Trudeau has caused a political emergency. While the rest of the world and provinces across Canada are beginning to remove restrictions and mandates, Justin Trudeau decided to pile new ones on, targeting truckers' livelihoods. And now he's got protests right around the country. And now he's dropping in the polls, desperately trying to save his political career and save face for himself.
Okay. It is so true, but don't brush that off. What does that mean, save face? And we're not talking about his blackface. How do you save face? I'm going to tell you how you save face. I like this guy. I've been watching him for a long time now. I wish he would have ran for the other election. And again, don't listen to me. I know nothing about politics. I really don't. You can tell he has a strong mind, this Pierre P guy. He's got a strong mind. And if you have a strong mind, you're going to be a strong leader. That's what I think. Having a leader that is trying to save face, in my opinion, is the worst leader you could possibly have. It's somebody who will attack you to move up into rank, move up in rank. In his case, Trudeau, votes. Saving face to get the votes. I'm going to tell you a quick story, okay? It's police related. 2 quick stories. We'll call them story number 1 and story number 2. I'm in Duncan. We're working one night. There's a girl that I like. She's on the watch. Really like her. We all like her. And she's talking to the watch commander about a call that she just came back on. And she's telling the watch commander, and I can't remember what the call was, but it had something to do with, she had a group of people, and this member hunkered down in what she believed in. And then she realized, because she learned a little bit more information, that she was flat out wrong. And what she was saying to the watch commander was, oh, I couldn't tell them I was wrong. You know, I'm a police officer. I can't say that. I can't say that. So she just made as though she was right. And that kind of made me sick to my stomach. It's a story about weakness. What are you talking about? You can't be honest? You have to be honest. If you know you're wrong, you say you're wrong. Anything different is weakness. I've never forgotten that. And we're talking like 100 years ago. And I remember just shaking my head. Telling the truth and saying when you're wrong. I know I'm not saying this right because I'm not a good talker. That adds character, builds character. People appreciate that more, I think. Story number 2. There's a cop driving down the road. It's a true story. Both of them are. Cop driving down the road. He sees a drunk guy. He's a homeless man. We'll call him a homeless man. And he wants to fight the cop, okay? He basically jumps in front of the cop car. Before the cop gets out, he says, hey guys, just to let you know, I'm about to get into a fight because there's a combative male here. And then he opens up his door and he confronts the dude. While the police station, everybody's frantic. It's a 1033, basically, even though he didn't call 1033. And they drive to his location and they're trying to get him on the radio. But this cop is not answering the radio. He could kind of hear it in the background. He does have kind of, well, I don't want to ruin the story. He doesn't respond. Everything turns out fine. They go back to the detachment and they're sitting around. They're all typing on their little typewriters. And somebody says to this cop, you know, if that happens again, can you just go on the radio and can you just give us some more information? Because we didn't know exactly where you were. And when we asked, you didn't answer. This cop kind of doubles down and goes, well, you know, I didn't have time to get on the radio. I did this and that and that and this. And then a couple more people on the watch disagreed with that police officer. It was a good conversation. They said a couple more things. And what does this cop do that's getting in trouble from his watch? He takes 5 minutes. Then he stands up and he says, you know what, guys? That'll never happen again. You're right. I should have went on the radio quicker. Now, who would you rather have as a leader? Weakness or integrity? I know I'm stating the obvious, but we're not really thinking of the mind that we're dealing with here. And I want to dig more into that. That's the stuff I think about. Like, why? This is why Trudeau is the weakest prime minister we ever had. And you know what, guys? Weakness? That is dangerous. I feel like we all talk about all these things, but we never really talk about the reasons behind it. Like, what's underneath it? Why is it happening? Like, why do people really make decisions? The decisions that they make can be so insane. But do you ask yourself, why do they do it? Like, I've seen so many bad decisions in my policing career with bosses. And yeah, of course I have made some. I can't think of any. But I've made some. But you think, that is so dumb. Where does the dumbness come from? Are you interested in knowing where the dumbness comes from? I'm trying to figure it out. I think I have figured it out. I'm going to tell you why Trudeau does what he does. Truckers are coming to Ottawa. A small fringe minority is coming to Ottawa, remember? What does Trudeau do? He runs away. I know you've heard it all over the place. But are we really even talking about it? He ran away. He went and hid. He played hide and go seek. Because he likes to dress up and play hide and go seek. He likes to play little games. But why? Why would he run away? Was he scared? Was he really scared? I don't know. But this is the thing that I don't understand. Is why did he come back? He came back. But why? He came back because he's seen that the protesters were peaceful. They said they were going to be peaceful, and the fact is, they were peaceful. What other reason would it be that Trudeau came back? Of course, that's the reason. He didn't fear anymore. So he came back because the protesters were peaceful. He comes back and he drops in the polls. He drops into the polls like he drops in the polls. And I don't know if I have this right, but it's like a 16% approval rating. It's really bad. Trudeau's not really doing a lot. He's talking a lot. Not even really. And he's not even... He realizes, oh my God, this is hurting me. I'm dropping in the polls. How do I change this? I got to change this. Doing nothing isn't changing it. So I got to find something. I got to do something big. I must do something, even if I don't agree with it. That's how weak people think. It's not how strong people think. Do I give in or do I double down? So he doubles down. And he picks the thing that no matter what, his approval rating is going to go up. He invokes some emergency act that's never been, and I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Who cares? It's a really big deal, okay? It's like the most powerful federal law that you could possibly invoke. It's never been invoked before. It's been around since like 1988. No other prime minister has ever invoked it. COVID running around, people dying, it wasn't invoked. Peaceful protest comes out. He invokes this. Just like Pierre said. Political, saving face, doubling down. If I do something like this, I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Kids are going to be studying this in school. I'm going to be in the history books.
This will be a moment that will be studied in the history books, and what the people will see.
And all he has to say is, look at what they made me do. Look at what those protesters made me do. I've arrested a lot of bad men for beating their wives in my time. And they all had the same mind frame. You made me do it. That's why I hit you. You made me do it. Look what the protesters made him do. I called them misogynist, racist, extremist. I ran away. And because they're such a terrible group, I got invoked this Emergency Act. They made me do it. It makes him look like he had no choice. Look how bad these people are. If he doesn't do that, and if he backs down, in his head, that's failing. And everything he's done was a mistake. But Trudeau don't think that way. He's got to fight. He's got to double down. He wins by doing this. It's his excuse that he can rely on. He has to fight to the end now. He can't admit to a group that he was wrong. It's not in him. He's not built that way. He's got a mind of a little kid. When my kids hunker down and they lie, they've lied so badly that no matter what, sometimes you can never get them to tell the truth. That's his career. That's his life. That's your leader. A man that cannot admit when he's wrong. But he tells you the real reason why he did this.
This is about keeping Canadians safe, protecting people's jobs, and restoring confidence in our institutions.
That's why he did it. It's about keeping people safe, guys. He lies to you, invokes this Emergency Act, and it's a big deal. Do you see the violence? There's no violence. But you have to keep Canadians safe because they're racist and extremist, right? Aren't you getting tired of listening to this? I'm going to keep Canadians safe because the truckers are coming for you guys. These non-violent, peaceful truckers are coming for you. So I'm going to invoke this measure, the highest measure that you could possibly invoke in Canada to keep you safe. There's no violence. It's peaceful. It's proven. That's a fact. Okay, there's not even any argument about it. It's a fact. But he needs to keep you guys safe from them. Terrorists, extremists, racists, hate women. The stuff that's coming out of his mouth. Most powerful federal law in Canadian history. To save face. Who's extreme? Invokes an act that can freeze bank accounts, take insurance away from a truck, put people in jail, steal funds, and tells you that he's doing that to keep you safe. You can't make it up. Nobody's talking about this. Or maybe they are. COVID? People were dying. Why didn't he invoke the act then? Nobody dying here. There's no violence here. He's doing it for the votes. He's got to get back on track. He'll do anything. This is the man you're supposed to trust. Calls you racist and gives a terrorist $10 million and calls an election during COVID. Weak-minded people, guys. They're scary. They're bullies. And they're often called misogynists, racists, and extremists.